Let's take a look at those trending topics now, and here they are this morning, and just pulling them up. First up, hashtag Eskom. Now, quite a lot going on around Eskom. A few stories here. There was, of course, the saboteur who was arrested for some sabotage that was affected at the Camden power station, and that person will be appearing in the Ermelo Magistrates Court today. And the said saboteur was traced and, of course, working for a contractor to Eskom at Camden. Also, regarding Eskom, the SIU has demanded that German software giant SAP return 1 billion rand in fees that was paid by Eskom with regard to state-captured deals. So all of that happening around Eskom, and of course, load shedding is always in the mix these days. Our default is stage 2, it would seem, and then we are being up to other levels from time to time. And Chris Yelland also tweeting about Eskom, saying after 15 years of construction, only 1 unit out of 6, that is Unit 4, is currently generating electricity at the Kusile power station. So a lot going on around Eskom, but that's why it is trending. Hashtag Senzo Meyiwa trial. So this has been ongoing, and still Tumelo Madlala on the stand. So quite a bit of drama, as there always is at the Senzo Meyiwa trial. Always have some stop-start issues to begin with, and then, you know, it just carries on throughout the day. Also, what is becoming quite a feature is the judge, Maumela, and many people taking to Twitter saying that the judge should recuse himself because they feel that he is biased against the legal representative for accused 1 to 4. And so a lot being said about what's happening there. Tumelo Madlala's evidence being called into question by the legal representative for accused number 5, Advocate Zandile Mshololo. And she basically got him to admit that he did not in fact see, and he could not say who actually shot Senzo Meyiwa. She also went in quite hard on him with regard to the proceeds that he received from that Netflix documentary, and saying that he did not bother to share with his then best friend's a young child. And so there was quite a bit happening, media being kicked out later for showing Senzo Meyiwa's face, although it was said to have been inadvertently, it was a mistake. But of course, the judge had made, not Senzo Meyiwa, Tumelo Madlala's face, I apologize. But of course, there was a ruling that had been made right at the onset of his testimony. So the judge, of course, being irked by that particular action. So that trial obviously continues. Moving on to the next trending topic, Poland. And this, of course, about those missiles that landed in Poland. So, yes, the day before yesterday, suddenly you had World War III trending because there were these missiles that landed in Poland, whom we know is a member of NATO. And then it turns out, and you could hear from Joe Biden right from the onset, and he was, of course, speaking from Bali, that it seemed as though it was not from Russia, because Zelensky, I think, had intimated that those missiles had been fired from Russia, landed in Poland, and of course killed 2 civilians. But it seems, for all intents and purposes, these were not fired by Russia. So, you know, all this is coming up and people talking about this, and all people are hoping for really is a de-escalation of hostilities and for some sort of resolution to be found to end this war. And then the final one this morning is hashtag Afrikaans. So, Afrikaans, this also goes with hashtag Charlize Theron. And the reason why Charlize and Afrikaans is trending, and I'm just calling it up because I want to read to you exactly what Charlize said. Charlize was basically saying that there were, I think she said, only about 44 people. Oh, here it is. Charlize Theron opened up about her Afrikaans heritage and said there's about 44 people still speaking it. It's definitely a dying language. It's not very helpful. It's not a very helpful language. This was, of course, Charlize Theron saying this. and it, as you can imagine, did not go down well. And the Afrikaans speakers really, not happy and saying that this is absolutely appalling. And so everybody's opining, everybody who is Afrikaans speaking, and even those who are not, saying that even if it were the case, which it is of course not, the language still needs to be preserved. So that is why Afrikaans is trending and why Charlize is trending.